Next Level Nation, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode. I believe Alan and I repurposed one of our masterclass speeches today for episode number 798 for Motivation Monday. Sometimes you need a kick in the butt. So as you know, we just wrapped up our fourth round of group coaching, and we were talking to several of the attendees, and somebody said, you really inspired me and motivated me about halfway through, because honestly, there were some people in group coaching that were jeffing. We have everybody set up with their own PPT, with the things that between us and them have determined are the most important things for their success. And there was a lot of people who just weren't tracking. And on one of the calls, Alan and I were talking beforehand, and I said, I think we have to give some hard truth. So Alan talked about some things, and I said, honestly, I want everybody to listen for a second. You all paid money to be part of this group coaching, and there's some of you who have already quit, and you're not tracking, and you're not doing the things you came here to do, and we're only halfway through. And if you don't pick it back up, you're going to regret what you did here. You're going to feel like you wasted your time, you wasted your money. And I said the same thing on the last call. I said, awesome, congratulations for completing this, but please, please, please do something with this. Don't let this be like an event you went to where you took a bunch of notes, but you go home and you don't do anything different. You have access to this peak performance tracking. That is a huge key to your success. Please, please use that, because you're going to regret it if you don't. And sometimes you need a kick in the ass. Sometimes you need somebody to say, hey, you're jeffing, and I know you're capable of more than you're currently showing. And as long as it's with love, I think it's an important way to go, because there's a lot of people in our life who won't do that because they don't want to hurt our feelings. But sometimes it's not about getting your feelings hurt. It's about getting your awareness raised so you can make a new decision and then have a new way to go about your life. Like sometimes that's just the way it goes.
The key is living in the truth. We talk about that all the time. And sometimes when someone's living outside of alignment, they need to have someone they value and trust really tell them that, and one of the things that Kevin and I talk a lot about on this show is like, your dreams are not going to come true by default. The future doesn't get bright by default. It gets bright by design. And so everyone in group coaching, there was 11 members. Normally we only do 10, but there was one sort of discrepancy at the tail end where 2 people signed up right away. We're only taking 10 for group 5. But there's 11 people who all got Peak Performance Tracker. They all said, I want to get to the next level of my life. I want to achieve more in 90 days under health, wealth, and love than I ever have in my entire life. The very first session, we set everybody up with reverse engineering their finish lines. Here's your goals. Okay, I want to lose X amount of weight. I want to go to the gym X amount of times. I want to reach these financial goals. And by the end of group coaching, I'm saddened to say that not a single person tracked the entire time. Now, we did have a lot of awesome people in there, and I'm not trying to be mean. But the point is, and I told the NLU team this on our huddle last night, I said, I want you guys to know how impressive it is that all of you track your habits every single day. If you took 1,000 random people and put them all in a room and you random sampled them from the globe, how many of those 1,000 people actually track their habits every single day consistently for a 90-day period? The answer is maybe none, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 1. It's very, very low. And I said, NLU team, give yourself a pat on the back. All of you have been tracking every single day. But why? We have accountability. On the team, Alessandro is the director of operations. It's his job. We talked about it yesterday. It's Alessandro's job to give us that kick in the ass when we need it. It's Alessandro's job to make sure that we're doing what we say we're going to do and we're keeping the promises we make to ourselves. It's my job to make sure we're growing to our maximum potential. And it's Crystal's job to make sure that we're loved and connected and supported. And that's how we have the team set up. What a coincidence. The whole team is super, super consistent in all of their habits and keeping the promises they make to themselves. They're all more fulfilled. They're all happier. They're all growing at a greater rate. What a coincidence. But we have the systems and the kicks in the butt set up. And I said, I felt bad for Alessandro. It's like, you're kind of the bad cop, quote unquote, and I get to be good cop, but it is what it is. You kind of need both. And so on that call, Kevin said it real, you guys said you wanted to get to the next level. You're not proving that with your actions. And so this is not calling out Group 4. We love Group 4, honestly. Sure. And even at the end, Jay and a couple others literally said, thank you so much for being so raw and being so real. Because all of us know, this is Motivation Monday. Your dreams are not just going to come true. I'm so, they're just, you can't just think it and wish it and hope it happens. You have to make it happen. And it's supposed to be challenging, but it's a million times more challenging when you don't surround yourself with people who sometimes call you out on your stuff. Kevin's called me out on stuff. Was some of the most difficult conversations I've ever had, but it made me better. Emilia is a feedback partner of mine as well, and we don't let each other break promises we make to ourselves constantly, and surrounding yourself with people who aren't afraid to remember, being around people who are aligned with their highest self, they naturally will align you with your highest self. I told the team this, and then I'll move on, but I said there is a direct correlation, and I've realized this, between my frustration and how much I believe in someone else's potential. When I'm letting myself down and when I'm not maximizing my potential, I get frustrated with myself. I'll be honest, I get a little frustrated with my clients when they're not maximizing their potential. I get frustrated with the team at times when they're not maximizing their potential. But that's because I believe in them so much. I've been frustrated with Kevin before. I've been frustrated with Amy before. But it's because I believe in them so much and what they're capable of. And this is next level you, not fluffy feel good you. And again, we're really leaning into that because at the end of the day, we care more about who you aspire to be and your dreams than, whether or not we just need to be truthful in order for you to achieve your dreams. You're not going to achieve your dreams unless we can be truthful and unless you can handle the truth. And the truth is sometimes you need that kick in the ass.
And everybody gets truth at a different level. Like you might say, that's a little bit hardcore, but these are people who paid their hard-earned money to get results, right? I don't talk like that to other people that might not have signed up for that level of feedback and accountability. So it's contextual. It depends on the room. And again, this is the other thing too. It's like if somebody from Group 4 is listening, I hope right now it will inspire them and they'll say, you know what? Yep, they're right. I could have done a little bit more, but now I'm going to use that opportunity or this new opportunity to do better. We all have those opportunities, and honestly, getting a real level of feedback is a blessing. Like a real level of a good perspective from somebody else is a blessing because it's going to help you make shifts that you never would have made, and those shifts often lead to successes you never would have gotten. And yes, it's easy to say, oh my God, that's a pain in the ass, or just leave me alone. And I get that. Sometimes I get messages from Alan. It's like, come on, man. I don't want this today. But I'm always like, that's my ego or that's insecurity, whatever it may be. He only wants what's best for me. So as long as the people in your life are giving you the kick in the butt that you actually need, and it's from a place of love and not ego or scarcity, then it's a good place to live, and you will thank them in the future for sure.
Kev, before we go, can you just quickly tell the story about the M&Ms that you told in group coaching? Kevin told a really powerful story about his fitness coach when you were around the fire and you did. Yeah, so I think it would be powerful for our listeners.
Yeah, I rave about my fitness coach back when I was doing bodybuilding shows. The best coach in the world, awesome, super supportive, but he was no BS. No BS. My girlfriend at the time and I were staying with her family on this basically a mansion on the beach that they had rented. It was the 4th of July. It was wonderful. We were down the Cape and we went down to the fire. And everybody was having s'mores and cookies and M&Ms. And I had a handful of M&Ms and one s'more. And later that night when we went back to the house, I texted my coach and said, hey, coach, I cheated on my diet. And he said, Kevin, if you were anybody else in the world, I would literally can you right now. But since I appreciate you, number one, telling me, and I think you have a lot of potential, I'll stay with you. But literally anybody else, I would have just fired them as clients and given them their money back. I don't do cheating. You either want to win or you don't. And that was it. And he told me up front, if you want to win, you will suffer more than everybody else. That's how hardcore he was. But he always led me in the right direction and I won the show. So I like that level of look, this is what it's going to take. And I'm going to kick you in the ass if you're off track because that's what you're paying me for. So that
and you won the show.
I won the show.
Sometimes you got to choose results. And that's what that was. And again, that's why we're so intense on this episode is group coaching. You paid your hard-earned money to get to the next level. And Kevin and I we want to do our job well. We want to make sure you get to the next level. And it's like, really, nobody tracked the whole time. Like, I actually got some messages, and we'll leave after this, on WhatsApp saying, sorry, Alan, like Kevin S ended up reaching out and saying, sorry, Alan, I should have been more on point. That was the kick in the butt they really needed. And I hope one day they'll thank us for being so raw, being so real, and just being like, listen, if you don't want to get to the next level, then you're good. Like, it's no big deal. But if you do, you're going to have to do better than that. Yeah. And that's just the truth. So we wanted to bring that today. It's Motivation Monday.
And we love it. Like, if you're listening to this and you're thinking about Group 5, I promise, it's not like anything too, it's not too crazy, but you're paying for us to keep you accountable. And that's what every group has so far. So I love all the people in group coaching. So it's none of that, but it's like, you know what? That's a great story. That's a great opportunity for us to use that in a Motivational Monday and say, this is exactly what we talked about. And this is how we push the buttons to say, hey, let's show up the way we said we were going to show up, because you're going to regret it if you don't. I won't necessarily. I'm going to go on to another group and we're going to do the same thing. But I want you to leave this in a better way than you came. I want you to be more next level. I want you to have more self-belief, more self-esteem, more self-love, all of that. So little shout out for group coaching.
And what if the reason why we are so adamant about pushing people and giving them the kick in the butt is because we believe in you more than other people do? I think that's the truth. We believe in your potential more than other people do. And that's why we're willing to give you that kick in the butt. So anyways, Motivation Monday, that's a wrap. And Group 5 opens January 4th. If you want to start 2022 off right, and you need to stay accountable and want to stay accountable, because the whole team will tell you, I've been a pain in the butt at times, but they all would tell you that their future's brighter. And they're more capable now than they've ever been, and they're more fulfilled. Most importantly, they're more fulfilled than they've ever been. So Group 5, get around a like-minded community that really is going to push you in the best ways. They're going to love you. They're going to support you. They're going to believe in you, but they're also going to push you when you need it, and that's a beautiful thing.
And if you want to change your results, you have to change your approach. And we will help you change your approach through awareness, through accountability, through lessons, through our own life lessons. So please, all this stuff is in the show notes. You can just click it below. It'll take you right to the website, and you can sign up there. What do we have tomorrow? For episode number 799, it's last week's live podcast, Designing the Best Habits to Accomplish Your Dreams. We hadn't talked about habits in a minute, so we thought we would go down that path, and we get a lot of really good love and a bunch of really good questions. So that was a valuable episode. We hope you will enjoy that. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. We are grateful for each and every one of you. And we do not have fans. We have family. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Please reach out.
Bye.